Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Jody Bear, and welcome to Mindset Monday. I usually say this every time, but today I mean it because we're social creatures, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about on this show about mindset and skill set, but when we have each other, everything is perfect. And this is what my guest does here tonight. So welcome back to Mindset Monday. If you don't know me, I am known as America's top foundational health coach. For over 42 years, I've been humbled when I had my brick and mortar practice to bring over 30,000 of my clients into toxic fat remission to the tune of 1.1 million pounds of toxic fat loss. During the COVID era, after I retired, who knew that I would be fortunate enough to bring over 3,000 client patients through COVID to restoration, rejuvenation, and restarting their lives. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The next life and health reclaimed, the next weight loss, pounds lost, it can be yours. Just take my hand. As Les Brown says, it is possible for you to do what only you can do. Just believe it. Believe it that it's possible for me, for you, and for your mission. And that's what our guest here tonight, or this afternoon or morning, depending on where you're watching us today on Monday, Richard Villasana does. He does that thing that is socially acceptable, maybe controversial at this point, but always, always true to the heart. Because as Les Brown says, children are 60% of our population, but 100% of our future and our children's future and future for us to go along. It's all about the children. That's what Richard Villasana does. And it's all about you and your health. As you watch me on now my rebranded YouTube channel, I just ask you to go ahead and subscribe. You'll hear health tips. You'll hear clips. You will experience what we experience here, a one of a kind, when you and you alone, when you believe that health isn't something you do. I've got to work on my health. No. But it's what you become along life's journey. Become health with me. As you know, Boca Raton is coming up. And you've heard me talk about it for several months now, because it is one of those things you will become health. And where you can see what it's all about is just go to Healthopedia 365. After you've done the YouTube channel, now we have our landing page that goes straight to the financing part of our website. If you need that for your lift with this, or if you need it just to go ahead and purchase a ticket, I will tell you Healthopedia 365, because it's those daily things. You see, our macro vision of living begins in your micro daily life. Those 10 rituals to rock your day that we've talked about many, many times on this program. You can get your list from my blog at drjody.com. But why just learn about health when you can experience it? We have 20 tickets left to Boca Raton. It will be one of those times. You see, everyone has a vision up that. We have a mission. We have a purpose. Many of us are entrepreneurs. But when your health is here, what happens to your vision? What Dr. Jim is creating, just like I experienced him after I was a stage 4 cancer survivor at this point, given 6 months to live. He showed me the process. He showed me how to live this all out, all in life. He showed me what I needed to do to become, and so can you. So if my vision is up here and my health is here, what's better? The vision stays here when your health is here. You need to bring up health so you can have wealth. So I can tell you The process is what it's all about. The process is what you're going to hear on this just bit by Dr. Jim Marinakis again about the process. We're going to see it as he talks about the daily things that people do, but do you really know how to do them correctly? You see, it's the 5 elements of Chinese medicine brought today to bring this home to you. What are they? You've heard them here: nutrition, supplementation, guidance and prayer, exercise, and physiotherapy. It's all a part of everything we do. So, what I will say is take a look, take a listen to whether you're in the children's stage or you're in this stage of your life, or you know a parent who is going through adulting right now. This especially happens in the winter months because the energy is less. So, take a look, take a listen to our sponsor, Live Freely, and Buddy of Proactive Aging, for that parent, that grandparent that needs a little comfort, and so do you as a caretaker in your life.
Aging seniors face a variety of challenges when it comes to their health and well-being. Now, there's a way to take control of aging. Meet Buddy, your personal health assistant. Buddy is a cutting-edge digital health solution that empowers seniors and their caregivers to be proactive in aging. The platform works on smartwatches worn by the senior and paired to their phone. Buddy automatically detects, predicts, and prevents falls. If a fall is detected, your loved one's watch will vibrate and display fall detected, I'm okay, or help me. At the same time, an alert is sent to the caregiver and a 5-minute countdown begins. If the alert is not addressed within the 5 minutes, Buddy will automatically connect to 911. Many times, a loved one is prescribed a walker or cane when they become a fall risk. Through Bluetooth and gamification, Buddy encourages the use of assistive walking devices by providing points that can be converted to gift cards. Buddy also reminds your loved ones to take their medications on time. One of its most innovative features, Buddy uses all the data it collects to create a personalized baseline and measures deviations to alert of potential health issues. Gain greater connectedness, peace of mind, independence, and security through Buddy, your personal health assistant. To learn more, visit www.buddylife.com.
BuddyLife.com is one of our proud sponsors at our wonderful, wonderful BOCA event. And I can tell you, whether it's adults or children, it just makes a difference to have those pieces of the puzzle of our humanity taken care of. I can tell you that Richard Villasana is the founder of Forever Homes. Isn't that a great title? And it's for foster kids because they're a huge, huge risk. There's no stability in their beta years, in their community years. Richard makes a difference. And he's been featured on CNN, Associated Press, ABC, Costco. It goes on. And he's been honored as a California hero where he lives. He has been translated for the United Nations. He's been doing this for 3 decades as a non-for-profit for foster families and immigrant children to create a personal home. What a beautiful humanity soul that I met on Manny Lopez's network of influence. He has an influence. 3 decades, Richard's been doing this. And right now, we are in a crisis situation. We need this more than ever. So what I can say, as we heard about Buddy living freely for senior adults, he is adding that commodium of foster children being able to live freely in their homes, forever homes as well, for the rest of their childhood and into their adult life. Welcome, Richard, to Mindset Mondays and to our Healthopedia channel.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I mean, it's your kind of work. And I will just kind of say before we get into this, Richard, we have these times with Manny and they're very, very authentic, real times. And the first time you spoke, I'm going, I don't just like him. I love him. There was just such a human heart, that you're just all heart. And I just wanted to honor you with that and just roll out the red carpet here on Mindset Monday for you, because that's what I felt. And I know our audience will feel it too.
Thank you so much.
And so you just didn't wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to be a founder of Forever Homes for foster kids and make an international place, to create them." So how did this happen for you?
Well, you're absolutely right. This was one of those things where, at least in my life and in the life of some people, I was kind of pulled into it rather than waking up one day and saying, I'm going to be whatever. And so there are two quick events that happened in my life that brought me to the doorstep of what I'm doing right now. The first was I had a mentor. I was doing international marketing, doing business all throughout Latin America, dealing with government agencies, the largest corporations in Latin America. And over a period of time, my mentor saw that I was able to find people, people that we needed, contacts within the government that other people could not find.
You were a connector.
I was definitely a connector, and he saw this and he pointed this out to me one day very clearly. And in doing that, and I was ready to listen because the respect I had for him and our time together. And so he was able to get me to stop, slow down my energy, listen, and take in when he told me that he had never seen anyone do what I do. And being able to locate people with just small bits of information. This was pre Google. And so once he pointed that out to me, I started paying more attention to this skill that I did so easily that I didn't think of it as a gift. And what happened at that time was I started getting more people who moved from our business interests into more of a personal matter, saying, look, I have a brother I haven't seen in 10 years. Do you think you might be able to find him for me? And I started getting more of these phone calls. And then I started getting phone calls from foster care agencies. And I'm like, sure, I can help. And again, it wasn't something that I had dreamed about doing for years and years. And I started doing this. And then the second thing that happened was that I got a call about 10 years into my doing this from a gentleman who is a national expert here in the United States. He teaches people how to locate families for foster children. And he said, look, I've been following your career. I love what you're doing, your success. He said, I need to ask you to do something. I need you to step up. We have got thousands and thousands of children who have relatives who live outside the US and nobody's looking for them. And if they are, they can't find them. And you're the guy. He said, I've been watching what you've been doing for years. He said, I want to ask you to step up and take on this massive responsibility of trying to find those relatives for those children. Nobody else can.
So was that, and that's how Forever Homes came out. Because I find that people that are pulled into, you were attracted because of your energy. That is that mindset, that soul set that made you go in to this social realm that was such, it's not a hole, it's a vacuum. With what's happening now in America, it's a vacuum. And it is all about the children. And I'm not going to get political. I don't care. I am for health and wellness. And those children deserve so much more. And I think that what you've done here, it's because you were pulled into it, Richard. It was a calling, wasn't it?
It was.
Yep. I mean, it calling for real. And, I loved what you said, because I liked asking people what their why is. And when you fill out your form, because I've learned from Dr. Gary Sanchez of the Why Institute, when you know your why, everything else, your what and your how becomes clear. And you said, because I'm the best at what I do. Well, obviously you got this validation from this international famous contact. And I always come back to what my husband says. He's got a great quote, because he's a world-renowned archaeologist. Only 2 people in the world do what he does. And he just, one day I said, look at you, look at what you've done. And he said, Sugar, when you're the best, people will feel you. And Richard, we feel you. I felt you the first day that I heard you on Manny's network of influence that we do once a month. And that's a plug for you, Manny, because it's a great networking group. So when people have failed and then you stepped up and figured out a way, I mean, I would love for you to give us right now and then after our commercial break, just one story now that will just bring this point home of what you do and how you do it. Would you please?
Absolutely. We got a case recently where the girl was 15 years old. She'd been placed in foster care. The mother, unfortunately, nobody knows where she is. The father had never been in the picture, her birth father. And so she's in foster care. And at 15 years old, the only way she's going to get out, unless we can find relatives, is through adoption. At 15 years old, chances of that, less than 1%. So the agency was desperate. And the only people that she could tell us about were her 2 uncles and 2 aunts who were living in the Dominican Republic. And that's all the information she could give me. Their names, kind of an idea about their age.
And their country.
And their country.
Okay.
That's it. In this particular case, we were able to find her favorite uncle in less than 48 hours.
Wow. That's just like, I think we just, have you ever thought about branding yourself when you tell that story? And by Villasana, just put the S under the 2 S's that Villasana has, or the 1 S, I guess. I need to get my contact prescription changed, but that 1 S, and just make it into Superman. That's amazing. Okay, so we've got 90 seconds. Give us the other one. Drive it home, Richard.
So the other one was Veronica. Veronica had been living with her father, and everything was going great. She was in high school. Unfortunately, he got sent to prison. She went into foster care again as a teenager. Again, the same statistics. And the only relative, and in the U.S., the only relatives that they could find had been an uncle, but he had died 3 years ago. So there's no one in the U.S. that they could tap. She had relatives. Her mother had gone back to Mexico, and they came to us desperate for us to be able to find her mother. It took us only 3 weeks in this case. We found her mother. We found her grandmother. But they also said, I've got 2 aunts living in L.A., and that's where Veronica went. Now she's in L.A., back in high school. She's back on track because she's with family, and that's what we do. I find relatives that nobody knows exist in the United States or in Latin America. We find them.
And giving that stability someplace where they can plant themselves into the ground and their roots can grow. That's just,
absolutely.
It's just beautiful. And where your roots lie, as I said, just get ready. We're going to be talking about the process where your roots can grow with us, with Healthopedia 365 and a B in Boca. So let's take a look, take a listen to the process. The process, the secrets of the universe revealed. Want to look and feel great? We invite you to experience a whole new paradigm with exuberant, optimal health. Experience it yourself. Why only hear about it? Join us and learn to optimize your to get what we got. Your body of disease. You're already healthy? Then come extend your life and feel your vitality soar. You will learn how to use all 5 aspects of life that keep you alive and cause you to flourish. Learn how world champion athletes use these living skills to set new world records. Align yourself to the circadian rhythms of the universe that regulate all things. Experience a meditation to clear the mind by eliminating stress, preventing degenerative health. How would you like to have the skill to balance your body chemistry every time your organs need it? Leading the way is Dr. James Marinakis, a worldwide leader in this field. Having treated over 35,000 people over 10 years, he's a homeopath, naturopath, and acupuncture physician. Find out why he changed his focus from treatment to teaching the secrets of life. How he put himself through this process and found the missing link to the chain of life. People don't want to just get healthy. They want to stay healthy as long as they can. By incorporating the process into your daily life, you will heal yourself not only from aches and pains and diseases, but it will give you the vital energy you need to cycle through the emotions that cause disease in the first place. Wouldn't it be great to identify these emotions? Wouldn't it be great to identify which emotions are dominating your life, stopping you from experiencing true joy and bliss? Imagine what it would be like to reprogram your biological computer. You will. Come set yourself free on a journey forever. Hold hands with the universe for just a little while and see what life brings you in return.
The main reason I believe people's health is declining globally is because they don't do the things every day that they need to maintain themselves. They don't walk enough, they don't get enough nutrients, they accumulate way too much stress. They don't expose themselves to nature. They work under artificial lights that damage the rods and cones of their eye, their brain, disturb functions of their liver. Everybody wants to be free from disease, and they want to enjoy a long and happy life. At the Personal Performance Institute, we teach you how to do exactly that. It starts right in the beginning. The very first things you'll do, which are simple instructions, will improve your health, and they will make you feel better about yourself. Not believe that you feel better about yourself, but actually feel better about yourself. That's what the Personal Performance Institute can do for you.
So Dr. James Marinakis of the Personal Performance Institute, my teacher and mentor of all these years that brought me back, can bring you back to. Just go to Healthopedia 365, and like our little meme said, Richard, that kind of fits you. As our production guy had a little bit of difficulty there, but if you want what we have, people want what you have. And I know there are challenges with that. So first of all, how can we help with the challenges, or how do you combat them?
Well, in combating the challenges, we're constantly looking at ways that we can improve the laws. There are laws out there right now that people are not following. People are actually breaking the law when it comes to the treatment we have for children in foster care. And we need to also highlight what's going on with children in foster care. They're hidden, and a lot of people don't really think about foster children. And we're looking at 400,000 children. Now, bring it down to maybe some numbers that everyone can wrap their hand around. Today, before midnight, 66 children, teenagers, will age out of foster care. And most of those kids do not have a place to sleep tonight. They do not have a job waiting for them. 40% of them have not finished high school.
They're a statistic.
They're a statistic. And some of those kids will become sex trafficking victims in as little as 6 hours from the time they leave that foster home today. On top of that, another 55 children will run away from the foster care home that they're in because of abuse, neglect, and most of those kids will never be found. This is happening every day. So if I can bring light every day.
Every day. And 450,000 is a little bit less people, children that live in my home state of Montana. Okay. I mean, that's just an epidemic. It's a social epidemic. And I'm so grateful that you're really, so I know that you've had this challenge. I know that you're a connector. What have you found is the solution, and how can people help? That's what I want to know.
Well, the solution at the large level is we definitely have to put more funding behind these activities, behind foster children. They cannot be the first people who get the money cut when the states are having a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always what happens. It's always the children who suffer immediately. Number two, there has to be more training so that people know exactly how to go locate these relatives and the desire to do so instead of putting 90, 100% of the money into foster parents. We need foster parents, don't get me wrong, and we need people who want to adopt, but it's got to be a more harmonious meeting where you have people who are looking for relatives who will take them in, and then for the other children who don't have those relatives, then those foster parents can come in, and it's a manageable number, not what we're doing right now. And number three, we need accountability, because there are people out there right now who are breaking the law, who are in foster care because they're not doing what needs to be done. And we see this in these stories that come up almost every week of a child that has died in the care.
Uh-huh.
And that's what's happening at the national level. But at the local level, what I urge people to do, whether is to support a nonprofit. Now, whether it's my nonprofit or another nonprofit that is doing good work for children, support them. And I can tell you, every nonprofit needs funding, because there are things that we can do that no one else can do. I have teams throughout the country and in Latin America who are doing this work. So clearly, people can't fly to Guatemala to do this work. They're not going to be able to speak Portuguese, so they can do this in Brazil. We can, but we need people to support our work, because the more that comes in, that means the more children we can help. We are limited by funds. And it's as simple as people giving $1, $5, wanting to do a fundraiser, and they can contact me by contacting us at the website, or they can even text us in at 833-234-1980. Text in KIDS, KIDS, and we will make a connection and let people know how they can help. But it's having the interest of wanting to help a child and get them.
And
Yes.
help a child. I want you to finish your thought, but I unfortunately, when we put up these frames, that phone number misses. It's 833. What is it, Richard?
234-1980.
Okay, so that I never interrupt my guest unless it's something that important. So finish your thought, please.
The bottom line is we want to get these children out of the foster care system, get them back with family. So many studies show how much better these children do emotionally, mentally, socially, how they go on to finish school, to get their high school degree, to go into college or to a trade school, how they go on to have a better life. And that's what we all want for these children, for them to have a chance at a better life. And that's what this activity does, is get them back to family. And for those who can't go back to family, we have helped many, many adoptions to go through that were stalled. They were not going anywhere. And we stepped in and we got that adoption broken apart, got it moving, and got those children into a home where someone wants to love and care for them.
Because you are the connector, and you are the expert. And we're going to just take the last minute, because I want you to bring out that book. When I say he's the expert and he's the founder of Forever Homes That Do No Harm, that's behind you. What a beautiful title for the book. So what would you like to share? Get the book. I'm going to say, this is what your action steps are. Audience, we've got a few peeps out there. Connect with Richard, get the book. That's what you want to connect with Richard, get the book, and support Forever Homes for Foster Kids. Tell us, what is the essence of your book, please, Richard? I'm sure it's about the children.
It is about the children, and it is about the children that were separated from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border in 2017 through 2021. It's about the children whose parents could not be found by any other organizations in this country, and we found them. We actually closed our 100th case in December, helping 100 families plus, and it talks about the U.S. foster care crisis that we have right now. We need foster parents. We are desperate for more people to think about the children and think about getting them from foster care into a permanent home with loving family members or with loving people. Either way, getting them back on track to a better improved, healthier life. That's what we want for these children. That's what the book is all about. How to go and make that happen and how to help it, no matter who you are, no matter where you are.
And Richard, that is you. And when I started this broadcast, I said your heart, because when you take, I've done this many times, so do it with me. Put your right hand on your heart, please. And you feel your pulse. Then take your left, put it over your right. Your pulse is stronger. We need each other, ladies and gentlemen. Call 833-234-1980. Richard, we need many more like you, but I'm so grateful that we do have you. So just reach out. He's the best at what he does because, as he said his why, he's the best at what he does. And as my husband says, we have felt you today. Thank you, Richard, for being our guest on Mindset Monday.
It's been my pleasure.
And as you know, we're moving into Life's Milkshake Moments with Shirley Lou. That was preempted 2 weeks ago, Thursday, because she had a dental emergency. Things happen. Guess what? It will be back, and Shirley will be bigger and better and stronger. Shirley Lou has an absolute amazing program so you can be financially set. We found the social set. We found the social set. And now just remember the process. We're counting down. We're less than 3 weeks. As you heard a little bit of the clip before, when I get to Boca Raton, I will be 70, my 8th decade. This is what 70 and 73 look like. So make sure you join us in Boca Raton for the process and Healthopedia 365. To get what we got, because energy creates vitality, which transcends to longevity. We're living proof. Do what I do to get what I got. Be in Boca to find out the keys to your health kingdom.